Even though he'd retired from his practice 2 years ago, Max O'Connor was still one of the best doctors in Ozark County, and probably the only one who still made house visits out to the hills and hollers. He worked 2 days a week, and during the summertime, which was the busy season at the bait shop, a nurse came to look after Maureen O'Connor. So that left Caroline to pull into the driveway of her parents' house on 222 Polk Avenue 2 nights a week, wishing she could just take a nap instead. She was surprised when she saw her father's truck pull into the driveway just a few minutes later. "Dad?" Caroline asked. "What are you doing home so early?" "I haven't even started supper." They both waved goodbye to Allison Hood, Maureen O'Connor's day nurse, as she hurried out the door with a stern look and not so much as a word to either of them.
"I didn't have any appointments scheduled," her father replied, rolling his eyes to Allison's back. Neither of them dared cross her. She was a severe woman in her early 50s, with little patience for anyone other than Caroline's mother, which was the only reason Dr. O'Connor put up with her. Allison was from Germany, and with what little English she spoke, insisted upon both Caroline and her father calling her nothing but nurse.
"Hi, honey," Max O'Connor said, bending down to kiss his wife once he and Caroline were inside. "Hello," Maureen replied. She didn't look up from her knitting. "I'm fixing your favorite tonight, mashed potatoes and green beans," Caroline said to her mother, also bending down to kiss her.
"And meatloaf for me?"
her father asked hopefully. "And meatloaf for you," Caroline said once the nurse was gone. "Might as well go get cleaned up. It'll be a while yet." As Caroline turned to walk towards the stove, she felt her father's presence still behind her. He wasn't moving towards her, and he wasn't talking to her either. She turned back around to face him. His face was twisted up, his eyebrows knitted so deeply together that they nearly touched his nose. "Is something wrong?" she asked him.
"Pam Brannan died today," he said.
The name came out of his mouth with a rush of air.
"She was tired. She was ready to go."
Caroline felt her heart drop into her stomach. "I haven't heard from Court all day." It was the only thing she could think of to say. She'd known this was coming. They all had. Still, she hadn't been ready to hear it. "I need to call him."
"He was with her at the hospital in St. Louis when she went. His father called me. Thought we might want to know."
Max O'Connor engulfed his daughter in a hug.
"Give him some time. You know he's going to need you to be there for him."
Caroline gripped the can of green beans she was holding so tightly that she could feel the metal grooves underneath the paper label. Pam Brannan, Court Brannan's stepmother, had been battling cancer for years. First, it was breast cancer. Then last year, it spread to her liver. Caroline was there at the Brannan house when they found out about the breast cancer, almost 3 years ago.
"I'm sorry, kiddo. I know this is hard for you in more ways than one."
"I should have gone up there to see her," Caroline said, tears welling up in her eyes. She wiped furiously at them. "I should have been there."
"Pam knew you loved her, and you know she wouldn't have wanted you to close the shop or leave your own mother for her."
Caroline nodded, pushing her face further into her father's chest. She'd stopped saying out loud when things weren't fair long ago, but she couldn't stop herself from thinking it. Pam Brannan had been one of the most wonderful women she'd ever known, and she'd taken care of Caroline like she was her own child when she married Court's father, when Caroline and Court were in junior high. In some ways, she'd been a better mother to them than their own mothers had, and it just wasn't fair that they were both losing her. "I'm okay," Caroline said, finally. "I've got to get back to supper before it's ruined for all of us." To Caroline's relief, her mother was eating everything placed on her plate. It had been difficult, even in the beginning, to deal with her mother's illness. But she took pleasure in little things, like the way her mother would still eat 3 platefuls of mashed